Good evening. Welcome to Focus On. My name is Chris Orell. Joining me today is Marguerite Stanley, who is a publicity chairman for the NAACP, and Patsy Chapman, who is a member of the school board for Port Huron. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
First off, let's get started. What is the NAACP?
Well, the NAACP is an acronym for National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. And it was established because of in the early part of the century, well, no, not this century anymore, but there were so many improper and unpleasant and unfair kinds of things going on with the black community in the United States. And it was formed to help alleviate a lot of that stress. Well, that's about it. It was formed. Oh, Patsy knows, I think, as much as I do about. I keep thinking of 1919. That was a formal organization
in the United States, but it was originally developed and formed in Niagara, Ontario, as a result of the initial group that was forming to meet under the pretense of developing an organization similar to the NAACP, were initially going to meet in New York, and they could not do so, so they moved into Ontario, where they held their first meeting in 1906. And that has been referred to as the Niagara Movement since then, because from there they came back into the United States and formed the NAACP.
Okay. So who was it that actually founded the NAACP then?
I am not sure of everyone. William E.B. Du Bois, if you pronounce it the French way. Most people say Du Bois, but he had a French pronunciation. He was one of the main founders, and it was interracially organized. It wasn't just the blacks. There were some well-thinking whites who thought that the things that were going on, the atrocities and things that were going on in the United States, they joined the effort too.
Okay. I must ask,
excuse me.
How did you two become involved with the NAACP? Is there a certain way you have to go about joining it, or are you just automatically in it?
Well, the NAACP opens her doors to everybody. Over the years, the acronym itself stands for basically representation of all people. Anyone can join. You just get with your local chapter and fill out an application, become a member. It's just a small fee that you pay annually, and you can participate in all the activities that the NAACP is involved in. So they don't close their doors to anybody.
Port Huron has quite a diversified group, including their executive board member. So you come there and you really don't know where you are, because there are so many different people: Indians, Mexicans, whites, blacks.
Okay.
Very diversified.
Now, Patsy, you say there's different events and things that the NAACP does. What are a few of those?
Some of them, they're involved with the national organizations. We attend various meetings and conventions to kind of get an idea of what's going on throughout the country. And then we bring that back to our membership and expose people here on a local level to some of the things that have been going on throughout the country and throughout the world, for that matter.
I was going to say, because we do have some chapters in Europe,
Yes.
all over.
And one of the fundraisers that we have is the Freedom Fund fundraiser that takes place in November annually. And the purpose of that dinner, if it's a Freedom Fund dinner, the purpose of that dinner is to acquire funds for legal representation. And again, legal representation can surround a variety of different, people that have problems that are basically associated with civil rights, and that is representative of all people.
Okay. What does the NAACP do here locally in St. Clair County? Are there any specific things that they do only here, or like what types of things do they do?
You can
Well,
parade.
right. We have, well, the Freedom Fund banquet, that's one of our highlights that Patsy mentioned, and it was held in November. And we had, as our keynote speaker, a gentleman who is president of the National Education Association. And we have different people to come in for that. And not only here in Port Huron, but Detroit, well, it has been for the last, I don't know how many years. They have the largest branch in the nation. And quite often they have celebrities and things that come in. But we like to gear our activities, our efforts toward what is happening locally, education, jobs, basically the same thing that would affect anybody, no matter who or what you were, But parade, we usually involve ourselves in, we have been involved in the, well, they don't call it the International Parade anymore. What do they call it? The Rotarians have it now. But all different activities. The field day, that's a time during the summer when the community brought together, not just the black community, but the community all over Port Huron brought together, barbecue. This last time we didn't have as much food. What they did was considered a youth activity. And we had 2 new co-sponsors with us this past year. And they would offer gifts and prizes to the sports, baseball, racing, whatever, and everything is free to them. So it's a rewarding thing, particularly for the community, not to come together just to growl about who's not doing what and what is being done to us, but just to enjoy each other.
Okay. You say that it's also with the youth. Is that all your active members? Are they of all ages?
Yes, we have a youth group. What's the name of that? The name of the youth group? It's just the NAACP Youth Council, and you have youth up to 21, 21 beyond is for the adult membership, and you have youth from the very youngest to up to 20.
All right. What are some plans of the NAACP as far as what they're going to do in the future here locally? Are there any plans that they're working on right now?
Well, generally, just more of what they're already doing, applying themselves and sort of like a watchdog over the kinds of issues that
concern people. Like I said, going back to the civil rights issues, we all have our civil rights. And basically, we spend a lot of time dealing with complaints along those lines of civil rights, whether it's violation of those rights within your workforce or within, your living environment, etc. So we are going to focus on those and always focus on those. That's how we started. So, that's the primary thing here in this area.
And it's not just for, I can remember some years ago, there was a white couple that came to us, because you typically think of, these are all blacks coming to make complaints. But this was a white couple, and they were having trouble with an adoption process, and they were helped, and they were, you know, they were able to succeed in what they wanted to do. So it's not just us, but it's for, I think Patsy mentioned in the beginning, it's for all things that are where people are being misused.
Okay. Now you mentioned earlier about joining. There's some paperwork to fill out.
Yes, sir.
What kind of paperwork is it?
It's an application form that you fill out, and it's sent to the national organization, and then you'll receive your membership card.
Where do you go about getting the paperwork from?
You can get it from current president, who is Juanita Taylor, of the NAACP, or any of the other executive board members.
Okay. Thank you, ladies, for joining me today. This has been another edition of Focus On. Join us next time. I'm Chris Orell. Have a good evening.